In this episode of the Retro Zone, we will be taking a look at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. It is one of only two Yu-Gi-Oh! Games for the PlayStation 1, and the only one released outside of Japan. So let's travel back in time to 1999. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories is based on the manga series of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is a universe where people play a card game called Duel Monsters. Konami both developed and published the game in 1999 in Japan and delayed release until 2002 for the North American and European markets, which isn't all that uncommon. Forbidden Memories is a somewhat linear RPG trading card game. As is pretty much the norm in RPGs, the game focuses on becoming more and more powerful as you collect new cards over your journey to save the world. You will be spending the vast majority of time focused on the cards, whether adjusting your deck of cards or actually battling the computer or even a friend. During the story of Forbidden Memories, there are two protagonists, which we will be switching between depending on the timeline you are in. Sounds confusing? Well, it's quite simple. Well, if you've ever watched the anime or read the manga. First you'll be playing as Atam, the Prince of Ancient Egypt, who has been overthrown from power by the High Priest Haishin. And the general overview of the story arc is the journey to save the world from the evil bad guy, and reclaim your throne. Then the game will sling you forward in time to be the protagonist from the original manga and animated adaptations, Yugi Muto. Yes, you get to play as a legendary kid with spiky multicoloured hair. One drawback to this is actually a side story of the manga and the anime, where you will compete in a tournament that doesn't actually take place in the timeline. Now if you've ever watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime or played the trading card game, you have a jump on the game because there's no tutorial or advice given on how to play the game. But even if you have this is a different Duel Monsters game than you're expecting. Forbidden Memories is based on the Duel Monsters OCG X-Bit rules. And no doubt that doesn't mean a thing. The OCG X-Bit rules are pretty much the prototype rules that at one point was considered when the card game was first being transferred from the original manga series. This was before the animated series. The big difference for this game is the removal of some rules such as tribute summons, effect monsters, and the polymerization card. To combine monsters into more powerful ones, you'll need to summon a second monster on top of an already summoned monster. And if the two monsters are compatible, then you will combine the two monsters into a new monster. There are various types of cards to utilize. First you have your monster cards, then the spell cards and trap cards, and so far that's so simple. And then you've got ritual cards to summon some of the more powerful monsters, and then terrain cards to boost some monsters and hinder others. To make matters even more strategic, there are 20 types of monsters in which to use, such as Warrior, Dinosaur, and Spellcaster. And each monster belongs to a specific zodiac sign. So just fielding a more powerful monster isn't always so simple, as having a type or zodiac advantage will affect the different powers of both the attacking and defending monsters. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories is a fantastic game where the developers have stayed true to the actual cards from the trading card game. But that being said, this isn't an easy accessible game for new players. There's no tutorials or advice, and at the start of the game picking the wrong choice sends you up against an overpowered opponent which can and will provide frustrating enough to rage quit the game. Although Forbidden Memories is a complex game, it is an entertaining game which can give you plenty of hours of gameplay. As always, thank you very much for your time, and let's take you back to the present.